Hi entrees, happy Easter, it's Sunday, hope you're doing well. I don't really celebrate Easter for biblical or paganism reasons, but it's a holiday and I like the food that it serves, and that's really about it for the most part. And I like doing Easter hunting, treasure hunting, whatever, for my kids. So I have chocolate chip hot cross buns. Now I'm just saying Coles does better ones because they add more chocolate in it. Some plain Arrow biscuits, that's just something I just want to have with my cup of tea. And the classic fruit buns. I've toasted them, so gotta have real butter. This is my favourite butter. I like the ratio of salt in it. Some raspberry jam. When I was a kid, the primary school that I went to, so I'm Māori, so we learned a little bit still and followed the English curriculum. We've also had Christianity involved, so once a week we did Bible. And then maybe, depending on the time of the year, we'll also do extra Bible, but that's just in the school itself. And so our Bible teachers, that's what we call them, they would bring us hot cross buns every year, and chocolates, and honestly, it was the best, to be honest. Honestly, the best. And you know, if they had money, or if they knew someone that made these or whatever, or had a lot of money, whatever the case may be, and we'll get like a whole packet of hot cross buns each, plus like the Easter eggs and all the other stuff. Honestly, it was the best. I love my primary school. It's like literally, I think it was one of the best primary schools ever. And yeah, the lifestyle back in New Zealand compared to Australia just doesn't compare, and a lot of people can agree. But the money and the convenience of the life here in Australia is much better than New Zealand. And if you're wondering, like, the religion, I think I'm pretty sure it was Catholic or Orthodox. Yeah. Chocolate and bananas go together. I just saw the bananas there, so I was like, oh, let me just put them on. These Coles chocolate hot cross buns are the best. They put so much chocolate powder plus the chocolate chips. The best. So my husband, one of his clients, they gave him a food basket, or a gift basket, that's food. And one of them was this English breakfast. I love English breakfast. If you're from New Zealand, you know that's like the tea, you know. So I'm trying that out. So we're gonna steep. I have a tendency to say steep, but it's actually steep. Gonna steep the tea for at least like a minute or two. And then I like mine with cow's milk, even though I drink plant-based milk like soy or oat milk. That's so good. The best part is that fingers get all sticky. But yeah, I love my Bible, and when my grandma would go to church, it was a Catholic church, not all but most of, you know, the Maoris, which is my cultural housing of the chiefs of those tribes. If they had a church, it was either Most of them are Catholic or Orthodox for the most part, except for a couple, but that's Israeli, I believe, like Genesis and stuff. I'm not too sure why we even have churches. Like my main tupuna marae, like if I was to die in New Zealand, that's be the place that I would be buried at. That's a Catholic church, and you can always tell if it's a Catholic church because they do this. Orthodox do that too, but for the most part, this is more Catholic, like Roman Catholic. And if you get the bread and wine, that's also more Catholic. So that's how you can tell the difference. You'll know if you're going by the Jewish Bible, because theoretically they have like, it used to be like 4, but I don't really know, but they definitely have 3 Bibles, which is like completely different, you know what I mean? And even Jesus is not said the same, and it's kind of weird, to be honest, like my people trying to bring 2 together, especially if they're going from like a Jewish, Orthodox, Israeli, like all that, when they praise Jesus in the way the Christianity or Catholic, like it's just not even the same. And it's kind of weird, and it's like, you don't even know what you're talking about. I'm just saying, just keeping it real. And yet none of them done studies and scholars from those countries. Like you're bringing another religion to another, oh, I don't know. I have very strong thoughts about that. And that was all done by kaumatua from a long time ago. And kaumatua is like your elder, and it's usually more referred to a man, not really a woman. Even one of my tribes, the marae that's close to where my homestead is, just down the road, they have church at midnight. So if you had a tangi, which means funeral, not tangi means cry, but people cry at funerals, so that's why we call that a tangi. And it's done at midnight. It's kind of weird. And the church session will go for about, I could go till like 3 o'clock in the morning, depending who the hell's bloody standing up and talking and all that kind of stuff. And the reason why it's done at midnight, it's technically not supposed to be done at midnight, but it's done at midnight, and maybe sometimes in the afternoon, not really so much in the morning, but because the morning starts at midnight. Don't ask me. I like to think that it's not by practice, it was by design by someone much further. That's why you can't really sit here and compare it to actually in my culture, because it doesn't even exist. Like marriages doesn't even exist. Polygamy does. A lot of people don't know that, but a lot of us don't really follow by that, I suppose. I don't know, but I mean, I love my culture. I just don't like other things that's not meant to be there. But you can't really have a say, because in my culture it's usually the man that has the final say, and it causes a lot of stir for our older women when a lot of it's not really was done like that. It's so much has changed. It's kind of awkward. Like women have to sit on the floor, men sit on the seat, and the only reason why there's seats there is because men have to keep getting up every time they have turns to talk at the pai or whatever. But traditionally, a man's not fed first. The chief decides who gets fed first, like a lot of cultures. That's not always technically played out now. But the kids and the women get fed first, the men last. Because theoretically the men are still technically carving up the meat, pulling the meat. Oh, it's a whole lot of things, you know? I love arrowroot. So just like other cultures and stuff, there's roles for men and women. I wouldn't say roles, but that's just how it is for the most part. Like a lot of people don't know, tattoos is not even a thing in my culture. But the scars, an imprint of scars was in our culture. The tattoos came about because my people used the gunpowder. So the musket wars and all that stuff, if you didn't know about, they all went to it in your school. That shows you, depending on what school, because you'll know what type of schools, because you got the, I hate to say it, I would say more colonisation schools. You know there's like Freemasons in New Zealand? No offence, they don't have like, well, not all of them, but some of them are not even that rich. It's kind of weird, to be honest. But the Freemasons, like, they fund their like stuff at home, like a hospital and that. It was all really messed up, anyways. I mean, my people are not willing to be like doctors and stuff like that, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. Not willing to work their way up to be the ones that run the show, you know. Just as part of the effects of vaccinations, you know. But anyways. So yeah. All areas different. And all have different opinions. I did a karike and it was a Pākehā one, and you know it's so funny. That's the one that I remember the most than the actual Māori karike that's from my people. That says a lot. Kind of feel ashamed, that's why I keep bowing my head a bit, because and you know what would be cool? If at least my generation and so forth make change, because I really don't think Christianity, Orthodox and all that belong on tangata whenua places. If I did, I would. There's other, do you know there's like other cultures that are Christian? They will literally pray to another. Like, I'm not even kidding, they'll pray to that God other than their own. That's how you, and it's so hard to like tell people it's wrong, because then it's telling them that they're wrong or they don't belong, whatever, like, you know. Or I know people like for real, back home here in other countries, they literally put that God first. And that's why it hurts to do the karike that I did, and I was kind of just running that through, because I feel some kind of way. And don't get me wrong, it's not like it's never been done before. If you're a woman, you got shut out, so trust me, a lot of people don't talk about that. There's like certain women and men that said that that's not supposed to be here. Or the churches got taken off the prop because it's not supposed to be there. My granddad, my mum's dad, was a chairman for marae. It's interesting because he's actually done a lot. Yeah. From my mother's side that I know of anyway. And then so forth, like looking down on my lineage, it's actually quite a lot. The thing with men, they're always, it's natural for a man to feel like he needs to be in power, he needs to take care of his people, yada yada yada. It happens in the animal kingdom, we're kind of no different theoretically. but there were certain karawa, Natani, men, had a problem with my grandfather. No, the sad part, it came down to my generation, like me and whoever's the, like if my mum has siblings, it's like their siblings, their kids got affected, you know what I mean? So certain people couldn't take positions in certain kapahaka. It would even go down to sports because they didn't get along with my granddad. But they didn't like what my granddad did, because when you're the chairman, you usually have the final say when you do whatever it is for that marae and all that. Yeah, it was a big issue. And that's sad. And it was actually said that's the reason why. That shit's so messed up. Not me, but other people. I mean, how my name was a bloody problem, but we won't go there. But yeah, it's like, it's just a lot. I'm kind of glad that my generation and so forth they don't carry too much of that tapu or want to pass that on, because it's just not really necessary. But yeah, maybe one day things could change. I mean, if I ever blow up to be like big or whatever, you know what I mean? And yeah, I'm going to voice my opinions. I'm not going to really care, because it's not like I can change it, because it doesn't work like that. It all has to, when you're part of the trust and the boardies, for whatever that area or for whatever that marae and all that kind of stuff, then that's the only time maybe you could change, but it has to be agreed upon everyone. And it makes it hard when people really don't want to admit that they've converted or put another god before their own gods. Because we have like a ton, like literally, the sky is a god, the ground, the earth is a god, there's bloody stars. It's like, it goes on. And it's funny because some of the science things or whatever that they use like out there, it comes from a lot of cultural, like my one would be one of them. You have the natives over America, they're one of them. You have the Mexicans or maybe Hispanics, I don't really know what to kind of call, but yeah, a lot of that came from, which is nothing wrong with it, they just don't give credit where it's due, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's kind of funny how things go. But anyways, yeah, that's my whakaaro on Easter. And it's paganism, it's not Christian, if you didn't know. Like Santa, Satan, yeah, it's kind of... Well, I actually already knew about that. Someone told me, was like, "No, did you know this with them?" I'm like, oh, that is so old. And I'll tell you why, because I was taught that when I was a teen. And there's a child's program. I actually love it. I always watch it because I like the animation, but the story behind it speaks to that. I haven't told them. Maybe I should. I might go and watch it today since it's got like the Easter in it.